Hey everyone, welcome to Greenlight. So today we'll be talking about Blu-ray Tuesday movies, and we're going to be going into in depth on the behind the scenes and how they can help you as a filmmaker. So if you're like a filmmaker like myself, and every Tuesday, Blu-ray Tuesday, and or when I was coming from DVD special features, you want to check out those special features of your favorite movies and wonder, how they can help you as a filmmaker, how they can help you get better at filmmaking. So this is what we normally do here on this channel, and we talk about that when we do Blu-ray Tuesday. We also talk about filmmaking tips, and we have filmmaking videos and unboxing videos as well, and as well as 3D videos on a free 3D software. So let me know if you're interested in any of that in the live chat or in the playback, in the comments of the playback. And let's get started right now. All right, so I appreciate everyone being super patient here on this channel. As you can see, there has been some changes. I used to have my DSLR over to the side, and so you can see my whole setup that I have here in this corner. And then and basically I was gonna retrofit the corner and everything like that as well. But lately I'm gonna be doing this setup with my webcam off of my iMac because for some reason it's not connecting to my Canon 60D. The Canon camera works perfectly. I've been downloading the software to turn it into a webcam from Canon, and I keep having to download it every time we do a live stream, and every time I did a live stream I had to re-download it. Lately I've been doing the same thing, and it hasn't been taking for some reason. It hasn't been working. But my computer is a little bit different than most iMacs, and I will be releasing a video about how I connected my SSD into my my iMac, and basically making my iMac a lot faster and a better video editing system. So stay tuned for all that. I'll be releasing that video very, very, very soon. So let's get started on some Blu-rays today. I do have a giveaway today, so I really appreciate everyone being patient for that as well. Last week I was supposed to announce the winner to that, but because of my son and my wife and we all got a cold. Since this whole COVID thing, like, none of us got COVID this time around or anything, and nothing happened, so we just got a straight up cold, which was weird. I get nasally and stuff like that, so I think it's because we moved into a new place and all that, and so we're just being way more careful again, and even more careful because everybody else is being very careful because of the variant that's out there. But with all that being said, the whole point of this channel is to escape from all that and all those problems. So let's just talk about some Blu-rays that are coming out today and their special features and stuff like that. So let's do that. Let's geek out right now. So if you haven't been here before, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you know more about these type of videos and giveaways that we do. Actually, to be honest, I think this may be the last giveaway. I may have one more giveaway, and I believe it's Divergent or something. It's just like a pre-recorded thing, so I may release that one as my last one. But there is no more after that. I don't think I'm going to do movie code giveaways. I may do a batch movie code giveaway. So subscribe, because when I hit 500 subscribers, I will be doing a thank you video and doing a movie code giveaway, which is a bunch of movie codes at one time. So I'll do like five of them or something like that for the 500. If I can gather up 5 of them, I'm sure I will. I keep buying Blu-rays and stuff. I'm addicted. I'm addicted to collecting them, but I seriously don't believe that the movie code giveaways are helping this channel whatsoever. So I'm trying to just shed off all the people that are just using this channel for movie code giveaways, and just stick strictly to collecting Blu-rays and talking about movie special features, talking about filmmaking, talking about my filmmaking and other people's filmmaking and everything like that. Also, have included making ofs and behind the scenes of major movies coming out in theaters. So stay tuned for another major one from Marvel this weekend. The Shang-Chi, I believe, is coming out. So I'm going to be doing one of those. I'm going to be doing behind the scenes for that as well. So let's get started with our first one. So our first Blu-ray today is In the Heights. This is a movie, a musical that me and my wife actually saw. This is part of, excuse me, sorry. Comment in the playback or in the live chat if you have seen this movie, just to give me some time. But basically, this is a film that was released on HBO Max, and it's including a bunch of other movies that were also released on HBO Max lately, especially last week when we missed The Conjuring 3, I believe. The Devil Made Me Do It or something. So I had it all ready, and I was ready to go, but my nose was not about to let me be on camera. I seriously was leaking. I still sound a little like congested and stuff like that because I'm just I have to deal with my allergies. So any little thing that has to do with my nose is a big deal, which is why I wear the mask all the time, especially outside, and what it made it such a big deal on this channel. And especially since we have a kid too, it's definitely such a big deal to make sure that all that just like basically lines up for our son. You know, when you have a kid, you got to focus on your family and focus on your family's health. So I just kind of just stayed away from the live and all that. Not to say it's not important, but I would love it if more people would show up, and then maybe I would just show up anyways. So let's move on to the 4K cover, because it looks different than the Blu-ray cover from what you've seen of In the Heights. Just to go on this really quick, this is a phenomenal film. I teared up watching this movie, and Wilmer Valderrama, I believe, Wilmer Valderrama, I forget his name, but the man who wrote this in this film, he was a star in the new Mary Poppins films, and he's becoming really, really big when it comes to musicals and live performance musicals and stuff like that. Even in film, anything to do with musicals, people tend to go to him now. If you haven't seen Hamilton, that's on Disney Plus. I hear that's phenomenal. That is just phenomenal right there. Excuse me. Salivating here for this filmmaking from this guy. Seriously, came out with another film that's on Netflix. That was very, very close to my culture. This In the Heights was very close in the sense that a lot of what I hear from the Puerto Rican culture in the Heights out there in Brooklyn. My dad is from. Ooh, cutting out there. Sorry. So my dad is from the Bronx in New York. So he talks a lot about his Dominican side and being in New York and everything, and the vibes out there and all that. I caught all the vibes and everything in this film. Literally made me tear up. I had never seen it before like that. Not even in a musical, just in general. I've never seen just people like my culture and people from my family on screen, and it was such a big deal to see this, and such a beautiful a film. I'm not Puerto Rican, but coming from Miami, I am Cuban, and I taken to the Cuban side. But coming from Miami, I have a lot of friends that are Puerto Rican, so this film is just phenomenal. So let's quickly get into the special features, because I do have back ends here. So like I said, how important this is to Hispanic cultures, especially ones like myself. Like my family hails from Spain, my Cuban side. So movies like Vivo, if you ever heard of that, that he made as well. Let me see here. Look at, ooh, so I got special features. I wonder, I believe they're in Spanish. No, they're not. Let's put them up. Oh, so you see it back here. This is the back end, and then let's zoom in real quick. Paciencia y fe. Oh, so patience and faith is what this one's called. Making in the Heights documentary. Ooh, my hands go way up for that. Oh my God, they said documentary for making. So Making in the Heights documentary, and they called it Patience and Faith. I kind of want to make a note of this. Whenever they do that, and they make a huge name for their documentary, usually it means a documentary, and they usually don't go out of their way saying it's a documentary. Since they are doing that here, this is another thing why I'm obsessed with Warner Brothers movies and all their films. Even though they're releasing all their stuff right now on HBO Max, to some people it doesn't look like it's worth buying on Blu-ray or 4K. But for stuff like this documentary, is just way worth it. And Paciencia and Faith, and Fe, I already, y Fe, I already see that they're gonna get into how long it probably took to get this film made, coming from Broadway over into making this into a feature film. It probably took so long for this to actually happen, and a lot of patience and faith had to come into play here. So that's something that I do recommend from all of the filmmakers out there, is huge patience. You have to have patience. We are not in the music game. We're obviously, even in the gaming world, you have to have some patience just to create a game. But you can't create a game in 5 minutes. And creating a film is just more than just you. Creating a film takes so many people and so many players and so many artists coming in at once to create something, to make it the way it is, for it to look like this, so it could look as magical as it comes across on screen. So, yeah, definitely highly recommend that documentary. Let me take a swig of some water real quick. All right. And documentary includes, okay, so it looks like it includes some like mini stuff in between. Maybe it's a play all option, turns into a documentary or something like that. It says it includes wepa, that music in the air, and more. So that's like I think it's a thing in Spanish, in my Spanish culture. Basically there's a song out there that'd be like wepa. I forget how the song actually goes. So this is a normal thing. This is something that is part of the music culture, the Spanish music culture, at least the pop Spanish music culture. So there's that and more. Sweet. So they're really gonna go dive in deep here. So expect pre-production, production, and post-production. So everything in pre-production. Yeah, it cut off a little bit there, I saw. So basically, everything in pre-production, production, and post-production, they're gonna cover it here. So in pre-production, they're gonna go into all the dance moves and everything they had to prepare before they go up on set. Maybe they even get into the screenwriting of this, which would be great, and learning how they got everything together. And just even, when you're writing, sometimes you don't even know if certain things are going to happen on the day. So you sometimes just have to write it and then find a way for that to happen later on. You kind of just don't focus on those things while you're writing. Trust me. I keep running into those walls constantly every time, because I come from a world of writing things that I have. And I believe in my third feature, I'm kind of like pushing the limits a little bit and doing what I have, but pushing it and using the tools I do have to add in things that I wouldn't most likely get on that day, but also mentally preparing myself for that ahead of time, as much as possible. Always be prepared. All right. So the next thing I see here is In the Heights sing-alongs, two of the film's most spectacular musical moments and enhanced by color karaoke style lyrics. Very cool. So yeah, for people that love musicals and love the sing along part of things, they definitely have that here for you as well. Get ready to sing and dance your heart out. So I don't know. This is chock full for me. I might even just look into purchasing this film for myself just for the documentary alone. This is something that we've been doing lately. Is I've been trying to include little clips of maybe just clips of visual clips of these behind the scenes, and then coming from my word and reviewing basically what I end up finding in there and what I learned from watching those documentaries, which is really good. So let me know if you like those type of things in the comments of the playback or in the live chat. So let's move on to our next Blu-ray release. And our next Blu-ray release today is Mortal Kombat Legends Battle of the Realms. And like I always say after the first Blu-ray, it seems like just a quick mention is that I have IMDb links for all these films in the description below, so you can go ahead and check them out, check out the filmmakers, check out the trailers, check out the cast and crew. You could even find out about the technical specs and things they used, equipment they used, camera equipment they used, and stuff like that. And even if they didn't, they shot something on film, like In the Heights, I believe was shot on film. Maybe I believe it was shot on film, actually. I don't know why. It looked like it was shot on film, and for some reason I'm remembering it in that fashion. Especially since a lot's shot on hard drives, on the HD type stuff. So in the high end 6K, 4Ks, 8K stuff, those type of things, they go up to a really high resolution, whatever have you, but it is never as high as film. Film can always be converted to any resolution. It's infinite, the amount of resolution that carries. So yeah, that's why I keep thinking about that. But basically, you can find out about the film perf and all that stuff through IMDb's technical specs. So let's talk about Mortal Kombat real quick, and let's get in with it here. I do not have the back end. Oh, do I have the back end here? Oh, I do. Okay, so I do have the back end here for this. So this is the Blu-ray cover, as you can see here. And I'm going to pull up the 4K now. All right. So as you can see, the 4K and the Blu-ray looks pretty similar. And then I have a back end here as well. But the back end to this Blu-ray is, I believe, a European or over the seas back end here, but nonetheless, as you can see here, it is. But nonetheless, we're gonna talk about the special features because they still carry the same special features that the ones here released in America have. So let's get into this. I got zoom in copy here. All right. So as you can see here, it says the God and the Dragon, Battle of the excuse me. Ear. Why did I say that? I think it's because I was burping. It's okay. I cut off. So, it says battling the Earth realm. So I believe it's an audio commentary about this. So they're going to have an audio commentary throughout the film. I wonder if that's separate. It says the battle and the dragon battling the Earth realm. So if this is a little documentary or a little behind the scenes that you get here, they're definitely going to dive into the storytelling of Mortal Kombat here and how they were translating it to animation. So this is very cool for any storyteller, anybody who's trying to get into screenwriting too as well, and just adapting anything into film, even animation. Film and animation have a little bit similar aspects to them in their storytelling, but animation is a little bit more condensed because it's just the whole animal production and everything like that. You tend to put a lot more things in one shot than you would in a feature film live action feature film where you would punch into close-ups and things like that, random things like that. They do close-ups in these animations, but obviously they're gonna be more specific to the story and everything, and more specific even to the character's emotion if necessary. So I believe they're going to be talking about a lot of the story and everything here, just how this story fits into the whole Mortal Kombat world and Legends, because this is not the first one that has been released of the Legends, and this is like the second one to come out recently. So the next thing I see here is audio commentary, and the audio commentary is definitely something that is going to be covering the whole film, and you're going to get all the filmmakers and everybody involved in this talk step by step about how they did, either how they created the film, or what they wanted for the characters, or if they never went down a certain rabbit hole or something like that for the story. So they will definitely expose that here. Voices of combat. So voices of combat. So this is definitely going to talk about the actors and character actors that recorded these voices, and most likely they might be even able to show you some behind the scenes there, which would be nice, or they're talking about their characters in this film. Another great thing for directors and or anybody that's a creator, creating characters and stuff like that. It's good to hear from actors, it's good to hear from filmmakers and writers and all that, and how they create the characters and put them all together so they can create one coherent story. So the next thing I see here after that one is combat gags, so Gag Reel. So that's cool. So a little bit of fun on them recording their behind the scene, recording their voices most likely and stuff like that. So that's going to be very, very cool. I wonder what they did, the creative things they did with that. Sometimes people create animation that also make the mistake that their actors made when recording it, recording their voices or something. So it's like a tie-in and stuff. So it looks more authentic. I don't know. It looks kind of funny. So you see that a lot in like Pixar films. I don't think they'll do that here. Takes a lot more money to do that kind of thing. So let's move on. So this is out now on Blu-ray. So go ahead and 4K. So go ahead. I do have. Oh wow! I never showed you the Steelbook version of this. So I'm gonna re-show the 4K slipcover. I have this 4K Steelbook for this as well here, but I didn't put it into OBS, so it looks exactly like this. I mean, it doesn't even, there's really no point in showing it, so I'm just not going to show it, and we're going to move on to our next film. So go ahead, in the description below I have IMDb links for this film and for all the films we talk about here today for Mortal Kombat Legends. So we're going to move on to our next film. And our next film here today is Spirit Untamed, the movie. I wonder if this was the one that was released on Netflix, but I believe now it's out on Blu-ray. And if all of you have daughters out there, I have a son, so usually these type of movies I tend to ignore, but you never know. I do have a little cousin though. Her name is Tylee. So she sometimes watches this channel with my grandmother and with her mom and stuff like that. Sometimes they watch it. So definitely this is for her and for everybody else out there that love these type of films. But nonetheless, it is a movie, and I do talk about it here. And there's special features. So let's talk about that. So the special features here to talk about from Universal Studios having made this film, because DreamWorks, I believe, is like basically behind Universal or something like that, I believe. So let's see, in the bonus features I see, let's zoom in, finding your spirit. So they're definitely going to talk about the story here. They're definitely going to get into what this movie means to the filmmakers and everything like that, including the actors and all that. So you're going to get some interviews and all that here, definitely. Like I definitely recommend seeing that if you're into animation or anything like that, definitely into storytelling. Again, if this is something that types of movies you're into, like Tylee out there, you know, she'll like this and she would enjoy it, maybe even get inspired. So the next thing I see here after that is a sing-along. And sing-alongs are fun, sing-along videos. So there's going to be multiple sing-along videos from this film, taking all the big singing numbers, singing moments, just like in The Heights. But you see here, this is a kid's film. This is how it's normally done with these films and stuff like that. So In the Heights is a little bit different, just having the documentary and having that big documentary there on how they made that film. So I highly recommend checking that one out. So no offense to this film, sing-along videos. Snack time s'mores is the next thing I see here. So it looks like they might get into a little bit about the character of these horses, maybe. And maybe s'mores had something to do with it. There was probably a joke. Who knows? Because I haven't seen the film myself, but I'm taking wild guesses here. As a filmmaker, sometimes these snack time things, they tend to, with animals and stuff like that, there tends to be a scene with an animal and the main character that has to do with this food. Whatever a weird human food that he's eating, he or she is eating, you know? It's just like E.T. with the Pepsi, or the Coca-Cola, I believe it was Pepsi. And then, you know, now I guess this is with the s'mores. They do this with a lot of films. It's a thing once you start getting into filmmaking, you start to see all the connections and how a lot of films have a lot in common. And it's all about taking the right things for your film and putting them all together. And speaking of which, we're going into deleted scenes. And that's what it is. Sometimes deleted scenes are scenes that don't propel the story forward, are scenes that should have been deleted out of your script, you know, in the third or fourth draft, in the many drafts that you do, you know, into the final draft, all the way into the final draft of your screenplay. So that should have happened then, but, you know, sometimes it happens, it feels good on a screenplay and it feels good on paper, but sometimes it just doesn't. On screen, you see maybe something, you know, on screen that you didn't quite notice in the other scene, and it covers basically what you're trying to cover in this deleted scene. So the dialogue and all this stuff didn't matter, you know, but you needed to show off the house or something. But you see it in another scene. You don't need it anymore. So it didn't propel the story forward. It halted the story and made it, you know, either boring or slowed the movie down. And that's really what you don't want when it comes to films, because it's a different medium than a book or comic book and all that stuff. You can do certain things in those mediums, and including gamings too. In gaming world, stories are way more drawn out, and there's way more to do than in a film. And if you have that happening in a film, you will lose people within the first 5 minutes, you know, the first 15 minutes, and they'll walk out of your theater. You know, that's the last thing you want. It's a whole other animal. Even with TV too. Even with TV, your stories and your characters, you have more time for character building on television than you do on TV. So with TV, with all that being said, let's it says "and more" here, which I'm thinking it's gonna be like trailers, stills, and maybe even concept art. There's always conceptual art. There's always concept art before. There's gonna be. I cut off there. That's why I stopped. But there's always gonna be concept art when it comes to animation films or anything to do with that. So always recommend checking that out. So let's move on to our next film. Our next film is out on Blu-ray. Is 12 Mighty Orphans. So this stars Luke Wilson and Robert Duvall's in here. Martin Sheen I see here. Wayne Knight. There's a lot of names that are popping out to me here. Based on true story of the team that inspired a nation. 12 Mighty Orphans. This is out now on Blu-ray. And shout outs to Sony Pictures. They did like one of my my Blu-rays that I had posted on Instagram. So go ahead and check me out on Instagram for Greenlight. They went ahead. It was a Sony Pictures tour or something. I don't know how they caught wind of one of my Blu-rays, but it was the Spider-Verse Blu-ray and liked it and stuff. So shout outs to them for that. You know, I usually don't get seen by studios, so that's really cool. Especially on on Greenlight really is where it happens, because other studios tend to like my stuff or follow me on Instagram and stuff like that, with my filmmaking stuff. But I guess that was taking a little longer. But this is kind of cool that it was a bigger studio. It was the first big studio to actually just like anything, no matter what department they're coming from, even if it's just tours. But if you like tours, let me know in the comments down below, because I might just be trying to do that here on this channel and try to have a lot of fun filmmaking type stuff on here. Anything to do with filmmaking, I'll make a video about it. So if it's knowledge base or fun, I will show it. Let's see here. So this is the back end here, courtesy of Bluray Dan. Bluray Dan has his own Instagram, as you can see here, Bluray_Dan. So go ahead and shout him out. I'm giving him a shout out here, and you can go tell him what's up. Tell him you saw him here on Greenlight, and let him know I'm being very respectful to his stuff, because I did not purchase this myself, and I couldn't find the back end from anywhere. But I have let him know a long time ago when I was starting the channel. I believe multiple times that I am showing his back ends here on this channel and talking about the special features. This it says includes deleted scenes here, so I don't have a zoomed in version here, but it does have deleted scenes. And like I say about deleted scenes are good to know what kind of scenes doesn't propel the movie forward, what kind of scene actually was taken out, you know, what kind of scenes were taken out. So with all that being said, let's move on to our next Blu-ray release, which our next couple of them don't have much back ends here to talk about. So let's get into our next one. So you can find 12 Mighty Orphans down in the description below. You can click on the IMDb links and find out all about the filmmakers, all about the cast and crew, and even technical specs that they have there as well. So we're going to move on to our next film. Our next film today also have IMDb links in the description below, and it's called Summer of '85. With this film and all the films that I have here, there's trailers within these IMDb links, so you can go ahead and check out the filmmakers and check out the trailers as well, so you can learn more about these films. I do not have the back end of this film. It's an over-the-seas independent film, so definitely worth checking out. I believe it's kind of looks like a love film about maybe a gay couple. You know, if you're interested in that kind of stuff, go ahead and check it out. I have IMDb links in the description below, so you can check out the filmmakers, check out the trailers, check out the cast and crew, and we're going to move on to our next film. Our next film that was released today, it is called Berlin Alexanderplatz. This film is definitely an overseas film out today on Blu-ray, and you can go ahead and check it out in the description below. I have IMDb links for this film, IMDb links for this film and for all the films we talk about here today, so you can check out the filmmakers, check out the cast and crew, and everything like that as well. So we're gonna get into our next film today. And actually, this is the last of the new releases. We're going to talk about two re-releases today. We have our Criterion Collection one that we're going to talk about today. We have Beast of No Nation. And when it comes to Criterion Collections, I am a Criterion collector. I do have a full-on video of that's supposed to be coming out very soon about my Blu-ray haul and basically my Criterion collection that I bought during the July 50% off sale. So I'll be doing a video about that and talking about the special features and how they helped me. There was at least like one or two of them that I know I've owned before, so I will be talking about how those special features were helpful to me as a filmmaker. So whenever I go into these, I usually only talk about films I've seen, films that I admire too as well. So this is definitely one of those movies that I admire. This is a director that's actually directing a big film coming out this year, and the trailer just got released today about the release for the new James Bond movie, No Time to Die, and that comes out in October. But this movie, Beasts of No Nation, is a phenomenal film, and I highly, highly recommend checking this one out. Let me see here. All right, I have it all set up. I do have the Criterion website here, so we can talk about the special features that show up here as well. So this is a Netflix film going on to Criterion. This is not the first one from Netflix to go on to Criterion. Rome and The Irishman were also two films that are currently on Netflix right now that have come out on Criterion as well. So this is really, really cool. I already see some stuff that I want. So getting into it really quick, there's a 2K digital master and 5.1 audio mix and all that stuff. New audio commentary. So that's cool. It's a new audio commentary from the director. I don't believe there was before. And then a new documentary on the development of making let's start it again. New documentary on the development and making of the film, featuring interviews with Fukunaga, the author and actors Idris Elba, and producers. That's phenomenal. So they're really gonna probably get straight into. They may not get into the screenplay, but they could do that too. But they may get into how they had to shop the screenplay around. Just saying development. When you hear that word in studios, you hear these type of words a lot about movies that are in development hell and they never get made type of stuff. Well, it looks like this movie was just passed around like crazy, and it's been in development forever. So maybe this film had to go through certain developments so that it could land in certain hands, into Fukunaga's hands, as well as Idris Elba's. So, it just tends to happen. Like, the movie gods just try to put it, in the right way. Actually, the movie gods to me are the same God. So, God, my Christian God, I guess, the God Almighty, just, he does what he does. I don't tend to push on Christianity here and stuff like that, but I do believe in Christianity, and I do believe in my faith in God and the world, and there just being a right place for things. There's a time and place for everything. So sometimes you don't know his work, you don't know what he's planning on doing for you, and that's something that you have to always keep your eyes open and ready to see that type of stuff. And getting into Christianity kind of helps you do that. But the movie gods, this whole thing, it's the same. To me, it's the same God. So if he's pushing along this film, it just wasn't ready to be made till it got into the right hands. So it can be inspirational to people like myself and people out there in the world that are watching this film. So damn, I'm so excited about this. Actually think this would be one that would be phenomenal in my collection. I thought it was really, really cool and really weird. The kids would put gunpowder in their cigarette smoke and smoke that. That was insane. These kids were crazy. I was almost gonna say crazy cool. I mean, it was crazy cool for film, and especially from a real world that this most likely happened. So let me see real quick. It says new interview from the costume designer. That's nice too. It's good to see from the costume designer perspective and how they were able to create the story within the clothing and be able to put each character in their clothing. And that's something that you hear a lot from film to film and different movies and different documentaries on these movies and stuff like that. And one that I recall is Zodiac, a movie called Zodiac, and they had to really dive in deep into the period and make sure that everybody's character was portrayed correctly with clothing. And certain colors punch out, and they punch out a certain way, and it may not be coherent to the character and how they feel in the situation or just into their character in general. So Moving on from that, there's English subtitles, English descriptive audio, very cool, and an essay from film critic Robert Daniels, very cool, and they always have that from film critics and stuff like that. That's really really cool. Wow, I love this. I love this movie. Just gonna play Netflix. Just phenomenal film. Very hardcore and very dark. I'm into dark films. The movie just touches on a lot of themes and stuff like that. I thought the filmmaking was so phenomenal too, and I just highly recommend this film. If you haven't seen a movie like City of God and stuff like that, that was a Brazilian movie, and I understand a little bit of Portuguese and stuff like that. So I think if you understand a little like Spanish and stuff. We did have my cousins are half Brazilian, so they understand it. So I tend to understand it a little bit. So those films, they're really good. Seeing overseas films and stuff like that. But I love it when I don't have to like read the subtitles and I understand it. I love being involved. I just feel like I'm part of the world, part of the universe. So really, really cool. Highly recommend this film. I can't say it enough. So, I'm just going to have to move on to our next film. It's another film I'm a fan of. And thank you for being this patient. We got another film re-released today. And this one is in 4K. Again, for Beasts of No Nation, I have IMDb links for that in the description below. So you can check out the filmmakers, check out the trailers, check out the cast and crew. And then you see here, this is a re-release on 4K for Dune. This is another one that I actually wouldn't mind getting down the line here. And there's multiple versions, multiple releases, so we're gonna get through it right now. I do not have the back end here. I tried looking for it everywhere of the special features. So stay tuned here on this channel. I might release a quick video of like maybe behind, like talking about the making ofs and stuff like that of this Blu-ray and stuff like that. Here going to Best Buy, I'll probably go to Best Buy one day throughout the week or Target or something like that and grab it and turn it around and do a quick recording to release and talk about it. So I've been doing that a little bit here and there. I did that once for Harry Potter. Not that I needed to, but I thought maybe I could do it for movies, that I don't get the back end of and stuff like that. So this is really cool. This is a slipcover. This is like all paper, I believe, and these little cards here on the bottom three that you see here. All the way on the bottom, there's like 5 of them, and I believe they're more or less about the same, and they get cut off here on they get cut off here a little bit. So let me fade that in. So I'm talking about these things here in the bottom left. Here, there's like 6 of them actually, and then it comes with this Dune poster, which is really cool. It looks like a billboard poster more than just a regular poster. So let's see what other releases they have. So they have this one here, which is a steelbook version of the film, and they seem to all be the same version of the film, just that they're all released in different copies before. I hope this came out really good, this 4K, because Donnie Darko, if you remember, Donnie Darko didn't come out so good from this company. What was the name of this company again? The Alpine or something? Was it Alpine? I forget what they're called, but it starts with an A. Anytime I see them now, I just think of that. I wouldn't say they're a newer company, but just let me know in the comments down below. But this poster is really, really cool. Very retro. Very cool retro poster. But this next one, it's more of, I believe it's like a slip. I don't know if this is like a slip steelbook or something. The other one is a definite steelbook. So this is another slip version of the movie. I believe this is like a paper version. And since I'm seeing this as a paper version, this could be one that's being released at Target. That's one I might want to get more. Just because look at the design of Dune back there. There's a whole book on designing Dune. And as you can see in the bottom left here, there's more or less the same little cards, those little postcards type of thing. And the discs are the same. That little booklet back there is the same. So it just seems to me like you get more out of this copy of the film. So I'm going to take a swig of water real quick. So let me know in the comments of the playback or in the live chat, and I'll give you a shout out at the end of this live chat. This is really cool, and I love the poster too. This is more reminiscent, I believe, of the real poster that was released, and so was the other one that was really cool with the steelbook. But this one seems way more worth it. It has chock filled with more stuff, more information about the film, and this design of Dune is really well worth it just on getting all those conceptual art paintings within this little booklet. And I love getting those booklets because it's very inspiring just looking at those and seeing, how far they came from, the conceptual art to the actual set design. So let's move on to our last thing today. And our last thing today is our movie code giveaway. And I have a double feature movie code giveaway today for A Quiet Place. I've given you 2 weeks. I've given everybody 2 weeks. So I'm going to quickly go on my phone here, and I'm going to just go in the YouTube studio and make sure everybody is involved in it, is part of the giveaway. Okay, it looks like more or less everybody's been liked and hearted. So let's do this. I'm gonna put it up here. All right, and I see already 2 people on the live chat too. All right, Edgar. I see Edgar. And I see my friend here. Oh. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, there you go. And I see my friend here, Maddie. All right, cool. I believe Maddie and somebody else actually got into the giveaway, so excuse me. But you did out yourself, Matt, on your own channel recently, if you that you've been winning off of me, and it's basically because he's always been consistent on commenting, and there are times that people either are cheating or just don't enter in the giveaway whatsoever, like this one down here. So as you can see here, I have these behind the scenes for Candyman, behind the scenes for Reminiscence, and a lot of movies here, and then A Quiet Place right here. And then I'm gonna probably keep these all green like this. So it's kind of like my that I did of Luca as well. But this is that new release thing I was talking about before. So maybe I'll be releasing those little things consistently. But basically, as you can see, I have IMDb links for everything. So let's go back. Now, for the giveaway, I use this little tool here called TubeBuddy right here. And there's a miscellaneous tool here that's called Pick a Winner. And press that, and then center. Press that and try to center it up on the frame here, so everyone can see themselves here. And time to pick a winner. Oh wow, Matt. So it looks like you won again. Let me see if there was more people on there though. I had a feeling it was gonna do that. Let me see real quick here, because there is somebody new on here that I believe hasn't won, and it's from another channel too. So I'm gonna have to pick another winner. Sorry Matt. Oh, I pressed it. It made you win again. There we go. All right. So try Burrow Gigolo, and I kind of want to like give a shout out to him because this man actually puts a lot of time here on YouTube and hangs out on a lot of people's channels. And he was hanging out on Alex's Levels of Geek, and that's where I met him and all that. And he's been interacting a lot with my videos and saying what's up to me and interacting with me on the live chat, including him and unboxing videos with me too. He does that as well. And shout outs to those guys. Seriously, always, throwing love around, stuff like that. He says, I love the simplicity of the film and still be able to be scary without too much dialogue. Just being able to move around in quietness to evade the creatures for an entire 2-hour film and keeping the crowd engaged is awesome. Man, you're awesome for that comment. And that's exactly the type of comments that I love here on this channel because it's chock filled with filmmaking information. If you really pay attention here, and everybody knows that A Quiet Place uses silence as a way to build tension. But did you know that, the film is not 100% silent? All those so-called silent things that you hear, or little dirt that they touch with their feet, or anything that they're moving and stuff like that, that's all been sound designed. And Foley, you have a Foley artist who's recreating, the touching of the pants, so you hear the ruffles touching my shirt, or the pat of my chest, or all those things, rubbing against my pants, and stuff like that. You could hear all those little rustles and things like that. And so do the creatures. The creatures know, there's somebody in the room. You feel me? So very cool. Love that. Thank you for getting me on a whirlwind here about filmmaking and everything like that. Thank you, Triborough Jurgolo, for showing up here on this movie code giveaway. And congratulations, you won a double feature for both A Quiet Place 1 and 2. So thank you to all of you showing up here on this channel. So let's do a quick shout out here for anybody that's on here on Greenlight's live chat here. So oh wait, there we go. So let's see. So yeah, Maddie's Great Adventures, shout outs to you. And then Edgar Job Ojeda. Edgar says the best cover is for 4K. Friend. The movie is amazing. Which movie are you talking about? Are you talking about In the Heights, probably? Yeah, In the Heights has a better or 4K cover anyways. That Mortal Kombat one was the same cover all the way around. So then Maddie says, I was writing to say hello and happy to hear that, buddy. Thank you, Maddie. Thank you for always showing up on my live stream and saying what's up and everything like that. Just going on your live stream, I did talk to a couple people and they did subscribe to my channel, and I appreciate that. So if you guys are watching, I really appreciate you coming from his channel and showing up here on this channel here. And if you haven't been here before, for filmmaking, Blu-rays, digital filmmaking, or anything to do with Blu-ray hunting, and anything like that with filmmaking and digital filmmaking, you can find out here on this channel. So go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll be seeing you here next time. Later.